Hey guys, and welcome to Cinders. So the last episode was kind of long. I'm gonna try and not make it as long this time, but no promises. I get way too wrapped up in games, and so then you know stuff happens. So let's see what past bedtime has in store for us. Home sweet home. I used to love returning home when my father was alive. I miss sharing the events of the day with him. Now it just seems like a grim prison, and my parole has just been revoked. Not to mention I'm probably up for a long talk with the jailer, seeing how late it is. You're back, safe and sound too, with no sign of having been attacked by robbers, wolves, or some such. Though I probably shouldn't be surprised that they didn't want you earlier. Oh, either. Sophia, charming as always. I kind of expected Gloria to be here and try to reprimand me. It doesn't seem like her to just let such a breach of rules slip without a word. It does seem strange, doesn't it? I'm as surprised as you are. I thought there was nothing as important for her as taking any chance she has to mimic Mom's contempt. Oh, I can imagine it already. If Mom was here, she would tell you you should have a stick up your derriere like I do. You're awful, and more importantly, off the point. What happened with Gloria? I don't know. She didn't seem that angry. More like sad, really. Both mean both mean that she's not well at all, so I'm content either way. Still, I wonder what could throw Gloria off her high horse, and out of that annoying Carmosa pose, for that matter. Did something happen in the house today? Well, dinner was burned a bit, so Gloria got a reason to shout at the servants some more. That hardly sounds like a reason to get depressed, does it? No, it does not, but apart from that I couldn't tell you what the reason could be. But I don't think you need to worry about her. It'll just blow over and you'll be fine, whatever it is that's eating Gloria. Thank you. So if you couldn't say what happened, does that mean you did get the chance to get out of the house? I didn't. Sunshine, birds and bees, and friendly people that will stab you the moment you turn your back are not for me. But I took my time of freedom to stay in my room and rest from all of this, so I saw little of Gloria today. You stayed in your own room the whole day? How come? Surely it will come as a surprise to you when I say I'm not a people person. I preferred to use this time for myself alone. May I ask what you did then? I used my peace and quiet to just sit and think things through, and finish a couple of things I had no chance to get around to with Carmosa on my back. Things like... Oh, that is nothing of importance. At least not in comparison to the ominous discovery Gloria made this morning. Did you know she has found a stain on a curtain in the hallway? That one? Oh no. Hard to believe, but it's true. Half of our morning and all of dinner conversation was about that stain being a sign of something greater. Household and lifestyle deteriorating. Servants' morale and respect dropping, kingdoms falling, dark times approaching, and most of all, that stain is improper. Well, Gloria does take house duties very seriously, but you are avoiding questions about your day. Maybe, but so are you. Surely after the whole day in the town you have loads of stories to tell. Okay, I was answering text messages and saying hi to my roommate. She just walked in the door. Yay, coughing. Alright. It really was nice to get out without the feeling I need to hurry or else, and we usually have so little chance to speak to anyone outside of the house. And the town looks magical in the evening. It simply doesn't go to sleep. All windows are lit, people walk the streets, if only to stroll to the tavern. Have you ever been to the town past sunset? No, I haven't. Carmosa saw it neither appropriate nor useful for her daughter to go out in the evening. But you must be exhausted. Indeed I am. Even my small and rock-hard bed seems like a piece of heaven now. I won't stop you from reuniting with your bed of rocks then. I prefer to be alone anyway. But do be careful. Those bed bugs can get really big and eat you alive if you let them. Everything is possible in the fairyland you seem to live in, Princess. I wish you well too, Sophia. Good night. Oh. Cinders? Are you awake? I'm awake. I'll be right there. I'll get to work in a minute. No, it's not about that. I just need to talk to you. Alright, Gloria, what is it? What is so important that you have to speak with me at this hour? At this hour? You mean noon? I wanted to speak with you about the way you've been behaving these past few days. Now there goes my chance of a nice morning, or afternoon. Listen, I realize we were never really on the best of terms, but what has been going on recently is something new indeed. If you really think that I will turn a blind eye on all your childish egotistic exploits, then you need to think again. What are you talking about, Gloria? I didn't do anything. Oh, you didn't do anything outright destructive. You are far too smart for that. But do you think I haven't noticed all the little jabs at me? You take every opportunity to undermine my efforts and make my life harder. Really, I don't know what's happening to you, Cinders. Do you think I'm stupid or that I don't have any feelings? I'm trying to understand you, I really am, but it seems like you are reveling in this chaos you are creating, as if you wanted things to fall apart, despite the efforts of all those who meant to keep things together. This is where we differ, Gloria. True, our relationship was never civil, but I think I'm beginning to understand why. We may be a family, but we are not alike. All I'm trying to do is to survive in this madhouse as unscathed as possible. What seems like chaos to you is freedom for me. Besides, let's face it, Gloria, things are already broken. Only Carmosa and you are still pretending that you can glue them back together like some ugly heirloom everybody hates. Typical answer of an angry child. Do you even realize that you have managed to describe the house, all of us, as if it was all about you? It is such a shame that Mother taught me so well about the importance of family. It must have made me naive. Because I still have hope that you will mature one day. Excuse me? Mature? Yes, become an adult, a person who is able to grasp the larger picture, go beyond one's own interests. Also someone who can sacrifice personal happiness for the greater good of the house, if it is necessary. I don't deny that it can be difficult at times, but we are not children anymore. We must realize how we all depend on Carmosa and support her in any way we can. I see. Well, it certainly doesn't play well with my idea of maturity, especially that part about supporting Carmosa. Of course you would say that. Just like you, Mother can be a difficult person to get along with, I admit. But her intentions are good. Think about the way she's putting all her strength into giving us a good life. And if you still doubt her, try imagining our lives without her. Don't mind if I do. How long do you think this house would last with her gone? You must understand, she won't be here to take care of us forever, and I can't do it alone, Cinders. I need your support. I don't want to be supportive of this. I really don't. But I understand where she's coming from. Why must these decisions in this game get so much harder than so much? Ah. What should I choose? I don't know what to choose. I don't want to side with Gloria. I don't want to be a woman that has to be cunning to get along in the world. Ah. Man, what should I say? Well, it doesn't really matter. Either way, I kind of want to do all the endings anyway, so. But, I really can't figure out what I want to say. Alright. Alright, I see your point. And as much as I hate to accept it, I think I can agree with at least part of what you're saying. Of course Carmosa means well. It's her house and we're her daughters after all. At least you are. It's her actions, not her intentions, that I have trouble understanding. But maybe not anymore. Perhaps we're more alike than I've imagined. We're survivors, doing what's necessary to cope with the situation we've been presented with. Such insights give you credit, Cinders. They tend to come with age. If that's true, then Carmosa must be really old, and her sight is completely different than mine. That would explain some things, which... Maybe she is a victim of harsh circumstances. Maybe she did have to struggle all the time. And yes, maybe I can't really imagine what she went through. But think about the woman she became. A black widow, so spiteful that she hurts her own children. But Cinders! Please, let me finish, Gloria. With all the pain she suffered, there was a lesson there that she missed. Sometimes being nice to people around you can make all the difference in the world. She has no right whatsoever to turn our lives into hell, Gloria, and you know it. She is how she is, Cinders. She's doing her best to manage everything, and it is a great burden. She can be terrible, but only because life can be terrible to her. You surely don't intend to change her now. Oh yes, no doubt about that. I'm not talking about changing her arachnid nature. I'm talking about changing ours. We could certainly use some improvement in our natures, you know. This picture you're painting in front of my eyes seems pleasant, but also not very realistic. It requires one thing which we do not have, mutual agreement. And we will not have that as long as we are not one of mind. That is, as long as Sophia keeps up her silly act. Gloria, I doubt that it is Sophia who we should be worrying about in this situation. I'm having trouble picturing her opposed to anything that would bring us more freedom from Carmosa. No, Gloria, it's you. You're the unknown in this equation. We can't be sure about your loyalties. Now this is something I didn't expect. You behaving just like Sophia. It would seem that you two have much more in common than meets the eye. You both prefer to spend your time criticizing me rather than trying to contribute. You could be helping me, helping us somehow. How can we understand each other if you do not even try? Then maybe you should stop whining about being criticized and start listening. How exactly did you try to communicate with Sophia? How much effort did you put into it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sophia isn't exactly the happiest girl in the world. She is broken, deeply wounded by the hate that you and Carmosa poured onto her through the years. Her bitterness and armor of cynicism are like a cry for help. If only you could give her any credit, any recognition, then maybe she'd be willing to help you? She hardly seems interested in... Let me finish! Before you judge her with your usual presumption, tell me this. When was the last time you actually talked with her? Do not be ridiculous, Cinders. I spoke with her as recently as yesterday. I don't mean commenting on house affairs or managing chores, but actually talking, like sisters. You do remember that you two are sisters, right? Or is family only important to you if it allows you to put blame on other people? All right, I see where this is going. Fine. I'm not really certain when it happened, but we did lose our connection. She seems so alien now. I catch myself thinking about her like a stranger. Her face is like a mask shielding her thoughts from me. I agree that it is unfortunate, and it isn't only Sophia's fault that we grew apart. Maybe we could work on changing that. You may be thinking that I'm telling you this to criticize you, but I'm not. All I want is to hear you say things like this, so that we can stop hurting each other all the time. It's the only reasonable thing to do. And you were always the most reasonable one, so it's good that you're willing to give it a try. And so you recognize it as well. I am the most reasonable. And I am the only one here that actually does anything to keep up the house. That might be just a bit of an overstatement, Gloria. Each one of us puts some work into how this place works, for better or worse. We just have different perspectives, and so we give a different kind of input, but... Surely you realize how naive that sounds. Is it something one might say to a slow child to spare its feelings? I've tried to help you both understand the importance of Carmosa's rules, and yet I am still to be the only one capable of understanding the requirements to keep a proper household. Will nobody ever learn? How long am I supposed to guide you and work alone against the laziness and stupidity of others? Hasn't it ever occurred to you that you might not have all the answers? Because that's the root of the problem, right here. Or right there. You try to be our teacher or a disciplinarian. You have no knowledge that we lack, nor a higher status, and you are not our mother. Stop trying to imitate Carmosa. Is this how you think a sister should act? How should I know? Do any of you act like one towards me? Reason with her. Oh, such debate skills you have. Attacking me as a person clearly proves you are the reasonable and logical one. I'm not the one at fault here. You are not the only one at fault here. We all are. Reason dictates that all the sides of a conflict contribute to its current state, and so we all did. Let us assume that is correct. What would you propose, then? Then Sophia and I would have to admit we were wrong to attack you and hinder your efforts to take care of the house. Oh, so true. You, on the other hand, would have to admit that you blindly mimicked Carmosa rather than using your own reason and abilities to best take care of the house. We all need to change our ways. If things are to improve, blame is not important. Refraining from our old habits and working together is. That does conjure up a good image. I think I would like such a change. One thing, though. Do you really think I mimicked Carmosa? Gloria, would you please stop for a second to think and answer one simple question truthfully? And what question might that be? What do you like to do? And no, I don't mean something that you feel obligated to do, not a chore, necessity, or an assignment. What do you like to do? What makes you happy? What do you do just for yourself and nobody else? But what are your goals? Where do you see yourself in the future? What will you do when Carmosa's not here and you are able to move on? Where do you want to go? I do not know. I just want to make everything better. This house should work as intended, and it should do so because of me. I want to make everyone happy and keep it all together. Fine. And when you accomplish that, what then? Imagine, the house is running smoothly, Carmosa is proud of you and relaxed. All tasks complete. What would you do with all your free time then? I do not know what to say. Indeed, such a situation seems highly unlikely to occur, so I've not given it any thought. Who are you? What do you know about yourself? I do not know. I do not know why you are so mean to me. All I did was come here with an open mind to talk to you, find some mutual understanding. You get no understanding, because there is nothing there to understand. You came here to reenact Carmosa in a statement of superiority. That is not true. I did indeed try to get through to you. You simply would not listen. You didn't either. Get through to me? You came here with your air of superiority to boost your own conviction. You don't care about myself or Sophia. All you care about is you. This is pointless. I see no reason to listen to such nonsense. Especially since I did nothing to deserve such treatment from an immature brat. Both of you are trying to turn everybody against you. Then you will be able to whine about fate that brought you to living in Cinders in pain. I must have had some kind of a huge lapse of judgment to even consider treating you as a mature woman. Oh, look who's talking. Do you even understand the word mature, or is it just something you repeat after Carmosa? Fine, Cinders. Get out. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts. You have one more day until Carmosa returns. And I will not stoop to debating the order of things with you any further, nor try to teach you. You can go and do as you please for today. We'll see where your freedom gets you. We both know you are powerless to stop me from leaving the house, or from doing anything for that matter, so you can stop pretending. Or did you grow accustomed to pretending too much, pretending to have control, to be self-confident, to be Carmosa? I do not have to listen to this. Goodbye. I really told her off. That's pretty nice to tell somebody off like that. Hello there, Hall. Let's see what new surprises you have in store for me today. Because I have to warn you, after the conversation I just had, I'm hard to impress. Hello there, early bird. Only old surprises, apparently. You really should try harder next time, Hall. Having a conversation with a room? How bizarrely refreshing. It's good to see you too, Sophia. Now, I never thought I'd say something like this, but here it goes. Carmosa was right. Too much reading does make you crazy. But evidently it also makes you interesting. At least interesting enough to make my eternally uptight sister sneak into your room when she thought I wasn't looking. I seriously doubt she's that naive. Doesn't matter. The real reason is, what did she want from you? Did she come to ask for help? So many hours without the chance to struggle for Carmosa's approval must have left the poor girl quite disturbed. Oh, you know our Gloria, a true stronghold of independence, a front of wisdom. I take it she came to spread her usual Carmosian propaganda among the little ones, only to meet with steadfast resistance of the people. We will not be silenced, shouted the crowds. Oh my, that's been quite the display. Did the guard intervene? If you're asking if there was any violence, then yes, plenty. The streets and squares practically turned red. Oh, how lovely. Was she hurt? Did you slap her? No. I think that would be going a bit too far, don't you think? My dear, simple sister, who can really say? Such things tend to be relative, you know. A one-man's hero is a criminal to someone else. It's simply too complex for a girl like me to decide, so when it comes to Gloria, I don't analyze and stick to the golden rule. Violence is always the answer. I see. I think you've just given me a bit too much information there, Sophia. Oh, you're such a child sometimes. In case you didn't notice, we're leaving in the middle of a dangerous and unforgiving we're living in the middle of a dangerous and unforgiving forest. This place is packed with wild, bloodthirsty predators. And whether we choose to see them or not, they exist. What a lovely thought. I will think about it on my trip through the woods today. Oh, you're going out again? I have to eat something first, but yes, I am going out. Why? I was just wondering if you... Well, what is it? Sophia, are you blushing? Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm not blushing. I was just thinking that maybe you could use some company. You want to leave the house? Yes. Is that a crime? Dearest Sophia, no, not in my book. Of course I'd love to go with you. But a lot is happening now, and I wanted to have some time to think alone. I'm really sorry. Maybe some other time? When Carmosa is back? Right. I'll get back to my room and stay there then. Forever. Don't be like that. I'm really sorry. You just caught me by surprise, but I really would want to go out with you whenever we get the next chance. Yes, yes, I understand. Go then and have fun doing your secret stuff. Thanks, I will. I'll see you in the evening. Sorry again. Ah, I'm kinda sad that I wasn't able to take her with me. That would have been fun. Ah, more text messages. Coming from someone important and great and lovely and nice and yeah. Boyfriends are sweet. Alright. Another day of freedom I can spend on the town. There's always something going on here. Even now I see some commotion in the street. I wonder what it's about. The moment I saw my cow die, I knew it. It was those evil beads of yours that did it. Oh. What are you talking about, woman? My poor Molly has died, and she was in so much pain for days. She mooed like she has never mooed before. It was almost like moaning or crying. It was your fault. I've seen the bad omens. My poor Molly moaning and the odor her wretched body made. It must have been your curse, witch. Cows smell on their own, and your Molly didn't need my help in that department. You might not have noticed because you only bathe occasionally. My poor Molly is dead, lifeless as a clump of mud on the street, and the heartless witch that you are dared to jest about it. I knew it was your doing, you wretched... I'm laughing because there's little else to do. How else should I react to your stupidity? You want someone to blame? I told you to come to me so I could take a look at your bloody cow and heal it, but did you listen? No! The animal's pain was not enough reason to spare a few coins. But I did bring her to you when it was terminal. Before that you said, it is for fate to decide what happens, so when it's your responsibility you leave it to fate. And who would have guessed? It doesn't work out well. But you said the cow would die, and she did! I said it would die if you won't take care of it. Fate certainly won't. The damn cow was seriously ill. You could see that for yourself. You only came to me when it couldn't move anymore. That is when you finally realized that trusting to fate isn't effective. Well, too late. So you're just searching for someone else to take your blame. Your Molly died because of your stupidity. Oh, but she didn't die until you looked at her, you witch. This whole town knows you are bad news. You are not welcome here. Shut up, or else I will turn you into a frog, or a cow to compensate for your loss. What's going on here? Oh, good captain, please arrest this evil witch for killing my poor Molly with her evil eye and her devilish beads. She has... Molly? My poor cow! She was so kind and helpful and... Is there any truth to what she accuses you of? I'm not even going to dignify that foolishness with an answer. If this idiot doesn't want to take responsibility for her own actions, fine, but leave me out of this. All right, then. My dear lady, I'm going to have to ask you to go home and wait till I sort this out. But I will make it my responsibility to sort this out. Now please go home and do not pursue this matter on your own. Do you understand? Yes. Yes, I do. Fine. I do apologize for this woman's behavior, and I hope you have not been bothered by this. You know how the townspeople are when they feel hurt or helpless. Oh, I do know. They blame the wicked witch, sometimes with the help of torches and pitchforks. I hope, however, that you realize that you are welcome here. These are good people. They just get carried away sometimes. However, they have grown to expect you to always be able to bail them out of their problems. For generations they did that, and although noble professions, yours is still needed. Oh yes, I am so needed that you had to intervene. How many times has it been now? Them blaming me for their own stupidity. This town sure has a strange way of showing appreciation. Might be the time to move on now. Oh, now surely you don't mean that. Just yesterday this young woman told everyone in the inn how much you have helped her, and... Sure, a grateful lady nobody listens to one day, insults, blame, and pitchforks the next. That seems like a good cue to leave. You have good reasons to be angry. Oh, just give me some time, please. I need to think. Someone in this town should, anyway. Fine. I will not press you on this further. You will do as you see fit, like you always do. Until next time, madame. Keep warm and away from those idiots. Farewell, Captain. What happened here exactly? People are strange here, illogical and stupid. They just sit and demand, do nothing and hope. Morons. The time has come for me to change the scenery. What did they do? Oh, nothing spectacular, just more of the usual. People come to me, for medicine, for advice, for a solution to every stupid problem they have created. They still fear me, though, and every time something goes wrong, they blame me. They used to blame the devil or evil forces. Now the evil forces live next door, ready for those morons to blame. Surely the townsfolk do not mean that. They seem to respect you a lot. There is a very thin line between respect and fear, and it happens in every single town I travel to. However, it takes time for the resentment to build up, so a new town should be more friendly. But you have friends here. Just a second ago, I thought I saw you speaking with the captain on very familiar and mostly friendly terms. Oh, we do have some history together, but do not let me bore you with the details. Oh, go ahead, please. Your curiosity is commendable. But let's discuss something of more importance. Have you given any thought to our last conversation? Not yet. I haven't had the time to. Good. That means I don't have to give more advice right now. So take your time, Cinders, and come to me when you have decided. Just don't wait too long, because I intend to leave this damn town soon, and I will not look back. Thank you. I will take time to consider and decide soon. You do that. Goodbye, child. Goodbye. That woman really got to her. Who would have thought? Tough, cynical Madame Guide, whose wrath can move mountains, touched by a simple townswoman's remark. I'm gonna go with Guide. That's what I'm gonna go with, is Guide. I will have to consider that side of her, vulnerable and so human. But right now I have a whole day of freedom to plan as I will. What shall I do now? Maybe pay Tobias a visit again? Tobias deserves another visit, especially as Carmosa is getting back tomorrow, and it may be hard to see each other again. No, I wanted to visit the inn. Hello there, Mr. Merchant. Hello, Cinders. What brings you to my humble establishment? Oh, I was just around the town again and thought it'd be nice to drop by. No special reason. I see you're well enjoying your newly found freedom. Can't deny it. So how was your day? I'm glad you've asked. Something strange happened that I need to talk about. That or I'll start wondering if I dreamt it. Oh, did you win the royal lottery? Just as improbable. I actually had a conversation with Gloria. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that it? The unreal thing was that you talked with your sister? So I presume it was something more than a simple exchange of insults? To be honest, I'm not sure what it was myself, but it was different. We were both speaking, and I think this time she was listening. Adjusting my positions, don't mind me. She also said that I'm free to do what I wish today. Now that's just awkward. Would you like to get some herbs? I'm sure she must be ill. But I'm serious, Tobias. It may seem like nothing to you, but believe me, those little things that are probably ordinary in normal families, they don't happen in our house. Maybe she sees and understands more than you like to give her credit for? With all the blindness that comes from her resentment towards you, she'd have to be a complete fool not to realize that she cannot control you indefinitely. It sounds manipulative and complex, so there's a large chance that it's exactly what made her, or Carmosa, give me a day off. There's also the slight chance of Gloria just trying to be nice to her sister for a change. Do you think that's even Oi, boss sir, you wouldn't happen to have a new task for your old mate, now would you? Gold has a habit of running from me pockets like cats and eat, and your last payment... Oh, bollocks. You! The pretty bird. Now isn't this a friendly get-together? If I'm the bird, then what does that make you? You certainly have a way of appearing out of the blue anywhere I go. First in the woods, then in my own house. And now here. You must be the most popular person in the whole kingdom. In any case, you came just in time to answer my questions and answer them fully. And candidly. Such terrible words come from that pretty mouth. Frankly, Cinders, I'm curious as well. A bit uneasy, but mostly curious. Oh, it's all very simple, really. 2 days ago you came to our home to talk with Carmosa. I want to know what it was about. But I told you it's nothing big, lassie. Rumors are me trade, so keep your petticoat on. That's all it was. A little gossip for a little coin. Everybody knows that Carmosa smiles only when she learns that she can get something for free. Why would she pay you? Little Missy's sure curious, and so's the old lady. She's even more curious than she is stingy, and so she pays. Generously. Very good, my friend. You're more clever than I thought. Finding out what kind of information interests someone like Carmosa. Actually knowing her in the first place, say you never told how exactly did you meet Lady Carmosa. Costs me trade, and devil take me if I'm giving anything for free, 'cause some lassie fanned her lashes. That's seldom a trade secret. Am I right, boss sir? She does have a point there. Oh, wait. She does have a point here, and her question certainly piqued my curiosity. I reckon the little bird picked something up all right. Tell her. Nasty business, mate's nasty ambush. Methinks I'll just run for the door now and call it a day. It's been swell talking. Not a step. As a law-abiding subject of our prince, I'm obliged to report any crime or mischief I know of to the captain and his guard. I'm sure Perrault would be happy to get something solid on you, but suspicious behavior and conspiracy will have to do. I'm sure it's enough to grant you a lovely night in the dungeon. I can't believe you'd snitch on your old mate, boss sir. It's business, nothing personal, friend. Fine, I'll tell you. But only the missy here will hear it. Bloody hell, some demon speaks through those red lips. You must take me for a complete fool if you think I'll let her go alone with you so you can flee. It's all right, Tobias. You won't run. Will you, boss? He knows that it would force me to inform the captain, whom I saw just a moment ago, right outside the store. Yes, missy, anything you say. Very well. See, I knew we would come to an agreement sooner or later. Would you like to step outside and tell me everything, my friend? Yes, missy. Lead on. Are you sure about this, Cinders? Don't worry, we're all friends here, after all. No, we're not. Alright, let's stop here and talk. Not exactly a hiding place, middle of the town, I love. Sure could use some more privacy. I'm not going to give you a chance to escape now, and don't try anything stupid. The captain's right on the other side of the street. Remember that. Fine, you little devil. I'll tell you what I know, just don't yell if I can't remember all the details. I've short memory. You've heard my question already. What was the message you brought to Carmosa? A dashing young gentleman like yourself should have no trouble recalling the last few days. Blazing hell, lassie, you and your odders tongue. Aye, I remember. So I was out in the woods, resting my head on the ground, enjoying the peace and quiet that only nature could bring. Calm shimmer of the lake, away from the wickedness. Don't digress. Of the city, sleeping like a brat I was. Do you often sleep outdoors? Why were you sleeping by the lake? Now that's a mighty good question, ain't it, love? Can't say I know the answer, though. I just woke up there. Old and magical place, the pond in the woods. Me auntie used to tell me stories of... Get back to the topic, will you? But I'm on it. I woke up and heard voices. Thought 'twas just like me auntie's stories of the fair folk, you know, made of light and wisp prettier than the finest ladies they are. But there were no wisps. And what happened then? I hid. What else? The head's still upon its neck because it knows when it's time to jump into the bushes. You know what I mean. Who are those people? Ah, an excellent question, Birdie. My gut tells me you'll love this. 'Twas the noble Captain Perrault, and he was talking to the prince. The prince was talking with Perrault in the woods. Seems a bit strange, doesn't it? What were they talking about? Oh, some posh problems of the rich folk. Too much free time is bad for the head. Our future, His Royal Highness, kept on whining about wenches of all things, how they're all empty-headed or boring to talk to. The prince was discussing women? That he was. Very unkingly of him, if you ask me. And foolish, too. Who cares if the bird's dumb or dull? It's not what I want from me wenches. Yes, wonderful. Now back to the subject, please. What did they speak of? The captain said something about rules, but I didn't hear that part with my head still spinning and the water shimmering so loud. Don't know what they meant, but the prince was mighty happy and said something about the ball. The grand ball. He got some idea on that royally empty head of his. I heard it's 'cause of them crowns. Very bad for the head. Anyway, there was a new idea that he liked. The grand ball. Doesn't sound familiar. That's the excuse they made up so that the kings and princes could pick their wenches like vegetables on the market. Only regular folk don't crown the cucumbers they bought as queens, at least not often. So it's a tradition. Yeah, that. They always use the fancy name if something doesn't make any sense anymore. So it was the prince's new idea. 'Twas about masks, making all the ladies wear 'em. You mean a masked ball? A masquerade? Aye, didn't know the rich birds are so horrid. I don't think it's because of that. Did he say why the masks are so important to him? It had something to do with the elders, the families, lots of lords and ladies waiting to trade their daughters and only for one prince. Too much competition's bad for business and tempers. So he's trying to dodge accusations of being biased. Clever. Aye, I knew that. Don't know what's wrong with seeing a fancy face, though. And what if the bird's got a pimple right between her eyes? Won't notice anything with masks and such unless he wants to oogle their curves. Ooh, bit on the nasty side, nobles. Me auntie told me stories, gossip really about the shenanigans going on between them nobles and the palace. Stuff that make a confessor blush. Alright, I get the picture. A mass ball, you say? Makes a lot of sense, actually. The prince can pretend he's choosing his bride by judging her more subtle qualities, and there's no way of any of the houses accusing him of favoring one over another. Who knows? Maybe he isn't really pretending. Perhaps having a choice is what he really wants? Devilishly clever, love. Glad you got the smarts to see through all that. Save me time having to explain all that to ya. Follow to the noble birds, and they all have a chance, no matter how pimply or horrid. Made me think of Carmosa and her pretty lassies. No, not you, the other wenches. I mean sisters, your lovely sisters. Figured the old lady would pay with kingly coin for a rumor like that. That's all there's to it. You satisfied, love? My dear friend, this isn't even half of the story I wanted to hear. You better get to the more juicy stuff right away. That's all there's to it. I saw my auntie Pimples. Appeal to his morals, focus on connection with Carmosa, threaten him. Focus on connection with Carmosa. It's all fine and beautiful what you've told me, but there are so many things missing, my friend. Like, why is it so important for Carmosa that the ball will be a masquerade? But what puzzles me even more is how come you knew they'd be interesting for her in the first place? You would have to know her pretty well to figure that. There is something to do with your past, doesn't This is something to do with your past, doesn't it? You've been working for her for quite some time, haven't you? Ooh, the little bird thinks she has the smarts, but with head so little the brain must be wee too. Every bloke in me trade knows Carmosa or knows about her. The hag's famous for handling coin to anyone with good gossip, and mine's the best. Besides, you want to know. How about asking the lady yourself? I ain't the one sharing a roof with her. But I know you know more. You can't fool me like that. I may not look it, but I work honest jobs only. Don't see you bothering your merchant friend like this. Methinks this chat's over, lassie. I told you all I know. No point in milking this cow for more. I know you're still hiding things from me. I told you all I could, and that's more than most folk get anyway. You're a little lucky bird. Best I leave you alone now. Don't you dare turn away. Cheers, love. He's gone, that crook. Why couldn't I make him spell? Heavens, I even begin to sound like him. Maybe it's for the better. Who am I trying to fool? It's not for the better. I needed this knowledge to get leverage I could use with Carmosa, and now it's all gone. What am I supposed to do now? Maybe I should just go for a walk and think about all this. Can't see a way how I could spoil that. This just isn't your day, Cinders. Maybe I should have appealed to his morals. It's astonishing what a simple walk can do to one's spirits. If I'm going to miss the freedom to do something, then above all else, it's going to be the freedom to wander about whenever I please. When I walk with no specific goal, no destination, I can just switch off and observe my thoughts jumping into their little drawers. With each step, I can feel my muscles relaxing. And strolling through the market has its moments too. I saw the most gorgeous shoes. Not that I can ever afford them. They were crazily expensive. I get that they were imported from the eastern lands, but at that price, they should be made of diamonds and dragon skin. Who buys something like that? I mean, I know I would if I could, but that's besides the point, right? Ah, forget about it. No reason to dwell on such things. Such a pity that the big red bat is coming back tomorrow. Today was pretty uneventful, but it's been so nice simply being able to talk to people like an ordinary person. Then again, this day wouldn't be as pleasant if it weren't so rare for me to feel free. It's almost sunset. I should be getting back home. So long, Freedom. It was a pleasure. Hope to see you soon. Maybe you could come and visit sometime. Or at least write. No, I guess I have to go back. Let's see. Well, I think that'll be the end of this episode. So... because I don't actually know how long I've been at this, and... yeah... I don't know. But I don't want it to be too long like the last one, so... yeah. This is where I'll end it for now. Hopefully I can still get leverage on Carmosa somehow. There's gotta be a way to do it, right? Yeah. Alright. Micah is signing out.